Because they are hungry. Over time, the expression paw sucking has become a catchphrase, which is quite often used in the modern world as well, meaning to lead a poor life. So what do bears really do during hibernation, and how does it happen? Bears hibernate from mid-autumn or early winter. The winter hibernation of bears is directly related to the weather and ambient temperature. Therefore, it is difficult to name an exact month when bears hibernate. Usually, it happens with the formation of permanent snow cover, and when the temperature stably stays below zero. Before such weather conditions occur, bears simply wander around their range. Bears hibernate in winter. Why do bears hibernate? Bears hibernate to wait out the harsh, hungry winter. Their diet is based on plant food, which is very hard to find during a cold winter. Therefore, in summer bears fatten up properly and gain fat to survive the winter in hibernation. How does a bear prepare for hibernation? A bear prepares for hibernation by eating heavily and storing nutrients in the form of subcutaneous fat. The bear hibernates in a den that it prepares to spend the harsh winter in comfortably. A bear prepares for hibernation. Before hibernation, the bear makes a den in a secluded, hard-to-reach place, usually under fallen trees or in root holes. Occasionally, bears may occupy caves and rock gorges. Occasionally, the animal may dig a shelter directly in the ground. Having found a good hibernation spot, the bear often returns there year after year. The bear in hibernation. The hibernation time for bears varies from a few months to 6 months. It depends mostly on climatic conditions. In southern areas, where winters are predominantly snowless, bears may not hibernate at all, but they still accumulate fat reserves because the food supply decreases significantly during the winter. A bear in hibernation. Bears sleep in different positions, some comfortably on their sides and some lying on their backs. Usually bears sleep one at a time. The exception is bears with cubs. They hibernate together. With the coming of spring, the older cubs come out of the den with their mother. By the way, cubs and female bears live much longer in dens than single bears. Older males are the least likely to stay in the dens. The hibernation of the brown bear is not too deep. In case of danger, the animal will wake up and leave the den, having gone to search for a safer place. Sometimes bears don't have time to accumulate fat reserves before hibernation, then they may wake up in the middle of the winter, or they won't go to bed at all, but wander in search of food. Such bears are called crank bears, and they are very dangerous, because hunger makes them ruthless predators that will even attack humans. Most often, such bears do not survive until spring due to lack of food. The crank bear. A bear's metabolic rate in winter is much lower than that of hedgehogs, whose body temperature during hibernation drops from 33 degrees Celsius to 2 degrees Celsius. In hibernation, the bear's body temperature is reduced on average from 37 degrees Celsius to 31 degrees Celsius, which is why it recovers quickly and easily after awakening. Sometimes, even during hibernation, the animal's body temperature reaches normal values. When hibernating, the body feeds on the fat reserves accumulated the day before. Some species spend part of their pregnancy in hibernation, in which case births occur immediately after coming out of hibernation. For example, polar bears do not hibernate every year, and they only hibernate for a few months. Most often it is done by pregnant females. The polar bear makes its hibernation on the mainland or islands. In addition to the brown bear, the Himalayan bear also hibernates, but it prefers to den at an altitude, in the hollows of old trees. But not all bear species hibernate. For example, the giant panda does not sleep at all. Bear hibernation in winter. Not only bears hibernate in winter, but also other mammals, such as the badger. By the way, it is the only member of the family of Fanidae, which hibernates in winter. For example, a stoat of the same family does not go to sleep in winter. Also